Greetings, gamer guys and gals. Welcome to part 15 of my Let's Play Fire Emblem 5 Thracia 776. And in today's episode, we are all the way down here by Castle Meath and the gate. And we are going to be doing a little bit of arena before we move on. It is turn 11, so we'll probably do like 5 turns of arena maybe. First and foremost, we're going to use the Paragon Manual on Safi. And we're also going to visit this house here. If you're feeling lucky, why not head to the arena just south of here? If you compete there and win, you'll make out with a pouch of coin and a fair bit of experience. Oh, but all fights are to the death, so don't hesitate to yield by pressing the B button if things start going south. And don't feel like you gotta clear out everybody inside neither. Pacing yourself is more important than winning first place. Oh, and if your magic needs an extra edge, whether you're using it or defending against it, use this before you go inside. And we get ourselves a nice little pure water there. That's actually not a bad idea for the defense of our units who are going to be fighting magic-based units as well. First, we're only going to be using Fergus, Finn, maybe Karen in the arena, but she's not really all that great at it, if I'm being honest. I think we're just going to throw Fergus and Finn in it. So let's go ahead and do just that. Before I do, I did want to say that there is a supply here and a vendor. So the vendor here sells vulneraries and heals. Now, the heal staff is useful if you need heals for, like, arena, but we have so many heal staffs right now, it's kind of insane. And we got all of those through capturing. So it's not really that big a deal. Mage, Sellsword Wind. The fight's to the death, but you can press B to yield. Good luck. Don't get yourself killed, eh? It's usually good to have scrolls on your units when they visit the arena. And not even just for, like, growth rates. A lot of people would say, well, of course it is. Wouldn't you want more growth rates? Actually, it's more important for not getting yourself crit. That's probably the only thing that I consistently would worry about in the arena as specifically with either Fergus or Finn. I guess we can talk here. Leaf and Finn, or Leaf and Nana both have talks with Finn, so we can do that. Father? Nana, you're all right? You weren't hurt, were you? I'm fine. Avel was there to protect me. That is good. If something were to happen to you, I couldn't bear to break the news to your... but never mind that. You know, if there's anything on your mind, I'm always here to listen. Father. Yes, what's wrong? No, it's nothing. I apologize. All right. I know better than to press the issue with you. It's good to see you again, child. Now, try to stay focused. There's no shortage of danger here. I want you to stay to the rear as we fight. Your healing magic will be invaluable, but don't linger on the front lines after you've used your staff. Of course, Father. All right. And then we can talk with Leaf. Lord Leaf, you're all right. I'm sorry to have worried you, Finn. Worried? Of course not. I never doubted you'd be able to keep yourself safe. I just didn't expect we'd meet again so soon. You can thank the Magi for that. Is that the name of your new retinue goes by? There appear to be former knights and common sellswords among them. Who are they, then? They're a group of rebels from up north. They've pledged to serve me until the day that Munster stands free. Their loyalty to you is most important above all. If they've promised you as much, their personal details are none of my concern. Though now that I get a look at everyone, I don't see Avel among them. My lord, is she... The commander is still in Munster. She was turned to stone by the fell magic of a Loptrian bishop. There's nothing I can do for her now. God's breath, that can't be. Lord Leaf, I'm sorry, I don't know what to say. You've nothing to apologize for, Finn. As for the commander, nothing will stop me from getting her back. Between the two of us, we're sure to find a way to reverse what's been done to her. So, Finn, I'm giving you an order. Don't die. I want you there with me. Head held high on the day we take back Munster. Gladly, my lord. On my honor, never again shall you and I be parted. I'll be at your side, brave lance in hand, until the very end. Thank you, Finn. Now, where has the rest of our former group gone? They were captured by General Hannibal's Panzerritter and imprisoned in Castle Meath. I considered rescuing them, but my duty to you comes first, so I set out without them. Then our road leads to Meath regardless. Very well, Finn. Let's head for the castle and see to their release. With our forces bolstered, we can make our way to Taura. You've missed the city as well, haven't you? I can tell. I have, my lord. Such good conversations in this game. Alright, so we're going to go to the arena. Supports do work in the arena. This here's an arena. You up for some blood sport, mate? You up for wagering 740 gold? Sure. Swords Master. Level 1 with the silver sword. I think we'll be fine. Yeah, I knew we would be fine. I didn't just think it. Fergus and Finn are probably some of the best units to throw at the arena, in my humble opinion. And that's it. I would try with Karen, but I'm just not very confident that she is exactly the type of unit who would do well in the arena. Now, we do have 3 healers now, which is fantastic. One of the reasons why I promoted Asbel was to have a 3rd healer. I said second last chapter, but I knew ahead of time we were going to be getting ourselves Safi back, which is very nice. And Asbel here, he can pretty well top up most of our units very easily. Seeing that he pretty much has, from what I remember, yeah, almost capped magic. And as you saw, his growth, the experience points that he got from that heal staff was just the same as if he was an unpromoted level 1 healer. Because the fact of the matter is staffs have very fixed experience points growth that they give you. It's awesome. Fire Emblem of modern days could learn a thing or 40. Alright, so now we're going to go in with Fergus again, and then we'll go in with Finn. We're going to be doing this for just a little bit. Frankly, I just want enough experience points to, or not enough experience points, but enough gold to say we have a fair bit right now. Very nice. So Fergus is getting that, he has 20 crit, and with his follow-up critical modifier of 5 means he has 100 crit, and as long as he hits, he's going to crit these guys on his second hit, which is why I have kept Karen out to support him, even if she's not going into the arena herself. Ooh, very nice. Don't need it, but I will gladly accept it. And Brigand with a steel axe. This could be kind of dangerous. You do want to keep your finger on the B button, always. Because the moment you see something, like for instance, if that Brigand would have hit Finn, I might have pressed B. He was going to be, well, no, I wouldn't have pressed B. If he hit him a second time, I would have pressed B. Because he was only doing 15 damage. And then we will attack in the arena with Fergus. This is another reason why Fergus is a great unit to put into the arena, is because of movement stars. It's not necessary, but it is something that I do declare is pretty decent. With that amount of critical that he had on Fergus, I do have to say, I think we're going to put a scroll on Fergus right away. He doesn't need one, again, for like experience points growth, It's too bad we don't have the odd scroll on us, but we've already kind of put away our unit that had that. So let's go to supply. We're going to give the physics staves away into the supply. See, we already have 5 physics staves, which is fantastic. Those are all from capturing because you do not get any anytime soon. Alright, so you can go ahead and have... Let's give him the Hoar scroll. I've been calling it the Hazul scroll lately, and specifically that's just because that's what it was called in the most recent patch before this. I do believe that genealogy still calls that bloodline Hazul, so it's just kind of a bad habit. 990 gold, I think that's perfectly fine. Axes are not that dangerous of a weapon, besides the massive amount of might they have, but the hit they have is just totally not worth it. Alright, most axe units kind of suffer with that, is their lack of the ability to hit. Now Finn, as long as he's equipped the Brave Lance while going in this, he is getting that stat buff, even though he's not attacking with the Brave Lance, from what I recall. Don't know that for a fact, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. 720 gold. Yes. We do not need Nana for the next chapter, so I have decided that it doesn't matter if we use her for any healing or anything of the sort. We haven't needed to, though. We'll probably do maybe... Yeah, we're going to do till turn 15 with this. So this will be my last turn for Arena, and then the next turn we're going to be escaping with all of our units. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and go in with Finn. $970 gold, armored sword with a steel sword. He could pose a potential problem. I don't really think so. Yeah, some of these units are, again, like I said, there are certain units that you have in this game in which are just fantastic arena units. Finn is one. Fergus is another. All right. And a bishop with fire. This should put us at 10,000 gold if we win. I say if we win. Very nice. Awesome. And 10,000 gold. That's pretty well the target that I wanted to reach. And we are going to heal up Finn and move on. You definitely want to have Safi usable in the next 2 chapters, specifically the chapter after the next, for sure. So be very careful of her fatigue. Right now, she only has 3 fatigue, so even using a couple of physics staves shouldn't be that big of a deal. But either way. We are, however, going to take that scroll back from you because not only does Nana need more strength in her growth, she needs more magic. And both of those scrolls give her those 2 things in common. And then we can escape with the rest of our units. Now, there is unfortunately one unit we are not escaping with, and the eagle-eyed viewer would probably be able to guess whom that is. It is Shiva. We are not going to be escaping with Shiva, not Shiva, but Shiva, because later on in this game, it is specifically important to have a captured unit on your party. So with that being in mind, I do typically like to leave a unit at the end of the Munster Escape arc, which this is the final chapter of the Munster Escape arc. And it's either Shiva or Hicks. Now, frankly, it doesn't matter because I hardly ever use either. If I want to use Swords Masters in my game, typically I would keep Shiva. But if I want like the option to be able to use more mounted units, I'll keep Hicks instead. That's pretty much it. Clearly your group wanted to flee Munster, but I would hear your reasons. Most of us lived in a village on the eastern shore. I was captured while freeing several children from their local prison. The Magi, the local resistance, later rescued me, and we fled the province together. For one so young, you don't seem to bend easily. What's your name, lad? Lou Ferris, at your service, General Hannibal. You share quite the resemblance. Resemblance? What do you mean, General? It's nothing you need concern yourself with. More importantly, what do you plan to do now that you're free of Munster? We'll head to Tara to fend off the Empire's siege. I have many friends there in need of help. Are you planning a route through the Central Mountains? That was my intent, yes. As rebels, we obviously can't risk crossing through Imperial territory. Is that so? Then be warned. Many bandits make their home there. Don't let your guard down. Thank you, General. Now, would you release the men you captured earlier? They were good friends of mine. Of course. Men, bring them to the prisoners on the double. Yes, General. Prince Leaf, sheesh, some help I turned out to be, huh? Might as well have stayed in Fianna for all the good I did. Damn Thracians, next time I see them, they'll pay for what they've done. I'm awful sorry, Prince Leaf. I guess I'm just not very strong. My apologies for intruding. There is something else. Good folk, let me introduce you to Callion. There are many perils in the Central Mountains, not the least of which is a massive hunt for bandits around Mount Veal-Drake. If you're mistaken for these bandits, you could very well lose your lives over it. Callion here will see that you cross the mountains safely. Of course, sire. They can count on me. General, there's no need to reassign your man. We don't need to go as far as into the mountains as Mount Veal-Drake. I'm sure there's a detour we can find. Nonsense. I'd be honored to join you. If you insist, I certainly would appreciate your help. Think nothing of it. Good day, sir. Oh, you were one of the children imprisoned at Kerberos Gate. What are you doing here? General Hannibal is my lord father, you see. On the off chance we met again, I prepared you a token of my gratitude. Here you are. It's a very powerful staff imbued with warp magic. Thank you. This is most generous. Sir Lou, you'd best be setting out. It'll be dark before long. Of course. Many thanks for your help, General Hannibal. I won't forget the kindness you've done us. And we got ourselves a warp staff. Awesome. Reuniting with the remnants of the Fianna Freeblades, Leaf made his way west. Callion, the knight entrusted to him by General Hannibal, served as his guide through the treacherous mountain range. They now approached the foot of Mount Veal-Drake, home to Dagdar and his familiar group of brigands. And here we are in this map. We are finally capable of dealing with deployment as well as items. So we can get rid of... One of the reasons why I didn't try selling everything that we need to sell is because you can do that in the deploy area. So we're going to do just that. We're going to get rid of every item on every unit that we are not intending on using. Let's see. She needs a good old Physic as well as Warp. We might as well pick that up. We can't use it now, but we will be able to use it relatively soon. And then Fergus, looks like he needs a Vulnerary, in fact. Let's take a Vulnerary on Karen as well. We have more Vulneraries on some of our other units. Brighton is going to be permanently benched. Sorry, Brighton. Let's get rid of the Pure Water for now. We don't need it at this moment. Let's take a couple of fires and trade to make sure that those are on the top of our list. Like I've said before, I would prefer to have wind weapon rank on Asbel, but we don't have any other wind tomes, and I absolutely will not waste the Graph Caliber. Alright, so Laura, she cannot use the rapier, which is not that big of a deal, but we can throw that away into our inventory, that is. And we can get rid of all of this. Now, one thing we do want to take out is, since we are going to be using Ocean, we will be taking out the Brave Axe for him. Let's see. I do kind of want to give the Odd Scroll to someone. Leaf is not going to be used to gain experience points much at this time. I have other plans for him. Now, what we will do is we will take out the items that we are intending on selling. The poleaxe is usually something I kind of throw away because it's not really all that great, being honest. But for the time being, we'll keep it. Alright, so that's everything we need to sell. Perfect. Pristine weapons sell for a lot of gold. So if you are missing gold, just capture a few units with some pristine weapons and you've got pretty much all you need. Supply, we will definitely take... Let's take a short sword on you. Why not? Make sure that Karen has a steel sword. That's nice. It looks like everybody is ready. We just need to deploy. So, in order to deploy, you just pick your units. Leaf is force deployed, so his fatigue never matters. That's the reason why his fatigue is crossed out here. However, oh, and Leaf also has an authority star now. The reason being is because of all the groups that is now under his authority, I guess you could say. Finn still has his authority star. I don't think Finn had two. Alright, so let's see. Who are we bringing? We're going to bring Finn, Ocean, Lithus, Safi, Karen. We can only bring 2 more units, so we're going to bring Asbel. Oh, wait, no, he's fatigued. He can't come. I guess we could bring Nana, because she's not necessary for the next chapter. I don't bring her in the next chapter. And Fergus is fatigued as well. There is a means later on in the game in which you can use to get rid of fatigue, but it is highly expensive and very rare. So do keep that in mind. Alright, we'll put you there. I think that's perfect. As you can see, all you have to do is press the Y button on a unit and you can switch positions. Now, the positions that they're in now is perfect. We're going to go ahead and save. And then we must go to the deploy screen and press start. Chapter 8, Mount Veeldrake. Ah, feel that earthy mountain air. That's how you can tell we're just at the base of Mount Veeldrake. Your help has been invaluable, Callion. You should make your way back to General Hannibal. We can take it from here. I'm not returning to Thracia, my lord. I told General Hannibal of my intentions, and he gave me his blessing. What? Do you think the General a fool? He knew full well who you really were, as does half the Thracian peninsula. Rumors of a surviving Leonster heir have been circulating for years. Anyone with sense knew it was only a matter of time until the survivor took up arms and rallied an army to battle the Empire. I always expected, nay, prayed that this day would come, and now I have the honor of taking part in the liberation myself. The motherland shall soon breathe free again. Motherland? You mean to say you're not Thracian? Indeed, I was born to a sworn knight of House Leonster. My father perished in the war, but my mother and I were taken in by General Hannibal. But I'm being presumptuous, aren't I? If it pleases you, Prince Leif, I want nothing more than to fight for House Leonster again and reclaim our sovereign land. I'm not sure that I'm the liege you seek, frankly. I don't know that I have the power enough to reclaim Leonster. For the time being, I merely want to aid Tara. Even so, as long as I fight beneath the banner of House Leonster, I care not what the cause is. If you wish us elsewhere, my lord, so be it. Assuming you accept my oath, I suggest we make for General Hannibal's villa. General Hannibal didn't seem the type to own a lavish mountain villa. He's not. The villa is a safe house for those like me, the many refugees of the fallen families of Leonster. There, under the protection of General Hannibal, Duke Dorius trains us in the ways of knighthood. Did I hear you correctly? Dorius? I can scarcely believe it. Duke Dorius is alive? See for yourself, my lord. Shall we be off? Of course, at once. Being able to see Duke Dorius again. It's like a waking dream. Begging your pardon, my prince, but I've a matter of some urgency. The bandits of this area, Dagdar's gang to be precise, are out in force and seem to be pillaging a nearby village. What are your orders, sire? Say no more. I apologize, Kalyan, but it seems Duke Dorius will have to wait. Will you aid me in defending the villagers? Ha! You needn't ask. I'd be worried if you didn't want to help them, my lord. Still, this is most curious. This is Dagdar's territory, and the villagers are under his protection. Why are they attacking? Very intriguing thoughts there. Alright, so we gave Leif a short sword, and that sword is actually not for Leif. Humorously enough. It is for Kalyan, a new unit we have, and he's a cavalier. The first of his kind. I think we get a couple of cavaliers in this game. He is not a regular knight. He is not promoted, so he is a level 1 unpromoted unit, but he's very interestingly unique, and we'll see that in a moment. Now, he has a follow-up critical modifier of 4, which is pretty darn good. It's almost as good as Fergus, and we know how good Fergus is. I would dare say Kalyan is one of the better growth units in this game, especially how early you get him for the length of the rest of the game involved, and considering what he has to offer. He has pretty good growth, 75% HP, 40% strength, 10% magic, 65% skill, 45% speed, 55% luck, 25% defense and con, and 1% movement. Now, what's hilarious is he comes with a steel lance in this chapter, and the reason why I got a short sword on Leif is because he is terribly in need of a weapon that gives him some kind of hit better than a steel lance on this chapter if you're going to use him. And being mindful of that, I think a short sword is a perfect useful weapon for him at the current time. His bases are pretty good, pretty solid. They're definitely not bad. A lot of people have said that Kalyan over the years is another quote-unquote joke unit alongside a couple of units we're going to be recruiting next chapter. I wouldn't say that about any of them. They're not the greatest units in the world, but they do have their own niches, and Kalyan has his. Now, he comes with a Vigor Star and 8 movement, which is nice. But what's interesting about him is that he uses swords and lances mounted. Both. Now, he only uses swords dismounted. But this is cool, because this means that you can work on his sword rank while he's mounted. It is unfortunate that he's got E plus 40 in swords and D plus 30 in lances. C lances is pretty good to reach, but I would say that if you're going to use this unit, you really and truly want to focus swords and not lances, because it just makes sense to go that route, especially because both indoor and outdoor chapters require him to use swords at the bare minimum. Lances are still good to have on him. I would still have it, especially for like 1-2 range, javelins, so on and so forth, especially after promotion. It's useful, granted. Lances are useful. There are some good lances he can still get a hold of, but I would dare say that focusing on swords is just the better idea. Now, I will say this also, because his E rank in swords seems kind of very terrible. He is very close to D rank. I do believe he gets a +1 sword upon promotion, maybe lances as well. It's one or the other. Some units, it depends on their primary weapon, and I don't know necessarily what his primary weapon would be. Now, I don't mind. I actually don't mind that he comes with E rank in swords, and that's because you don't have to dismount him in order to train him in that, which is pretty darn good. So Callion, in my opinion, he's one of the better mounted units that's a growth unit that you get in the game. In fact, I would dare say that if Fergus was a... Now, we don't have Fergus in our map right now, but if Fergus was a cavalier instead of a sword knight, I would say that would actually be better, in my humble opinion. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put Ocean here for the time being with an iron axe, and then we're going to just get our other units moved up as far as we possibly can without them being in range. This chapter is very intriguing, and we'll see why that is later. One thing we want to do is we want to get Karen down south to visit that village down here. Now, you can visit this village without going down south, but you have to take this long way around and then down and then through these woods in order to get to the village otherwise. So it's just better to have Karen do it. I do dismount with her in order to get that, however, because it's just not intelligent to fight these axe wielders with your lance, especially when they all have poison weapons and you don't want to be hit. If you're hit with these poison weapons, you're going to be poisoned every turn. It's not really lethal, but it is something that's not that great to be hit by. All right, with that being said, we're going to move onward. All right, pay up. Your crew might be happy spending all day sticking up farmers, but I got an actual army to get back to. Change of plans. Gonna need you to put in a little extra elbow grease. Looks like there's a whole group of folk coming this way. Don't know why they're here, but I need you to keep them clear of the manor while I'm inside. Once that's done, you'll get every coin. Damn, this was just supposed to be a one-time thing. All right, fine, but it'll cost you extra if you want me to stick around. And we should be able to take out both of these Venom Axe users. Hopefully none of them hit Ocean, but it's not impossible to say that they will, that they just won't. They will hit Ocean at some point. They'll hit one of our units at some point, and you'll just have to deal with the annoyance that is poison. I do like giving Ocean a bunch of experience points in this chapter, just because he needs promotion soon, and we're going to be able to promote him pretty much either at the end of this chapter or the part of the next chapter. So it's pretty good giving him some experience points. He doesn't need any scrolls on him either, because most of your units in this game don't really. There's only a handful of units I can think of, or a handful of situations where you kind of need scrolls on your units. Now, he did get hit. The only thing that we can do about that poison is we can heal that poison with an antitoxin. Otherwise, you're stuck. Literally stuck. Alright. This is a safe zone. We're going to dismount. And then we're going to move as close as we can with all the rest of our units, without being in the way. And we'll take care of both of these venom bow using brigands. Oh, see, I'm pulling his weight, as always. A wonderful unit he is, and a wonderful weapon he has. However, I think this is a perfect opportunity for us to bid our farewells. I do want to thank you for joining me. If you like my content, please upvote and follow, or like and subscribe depending on your platform. And while you're at it, have a great and glorious day gaming.